It's been said the best leaders of organizations are those who've been part of their business from the ground up. As the executive director of the Michigan Vegetable Council, Dave Smith's roots were planted in his work from the start.
I grew up on a farm here in southeastern Michigan, and potatoes was the main crop. But we grew a lot of other vegetable crops, and it was prior to mechanical harvesting even for the potatoes, so I know what it is to pick up potatoes, pick tomatoes, cut cabbage, all those things. And went to Michigan State after high school and got a degree in horticulture, and then stayed around and got a master's degree in business. After that, made the transition to St. Paul, Minnesota, where I worked for the farm credit system for the St. Paul Bank for Cooperatives.
In 1983, Dave and his wife Sue decided to come back to Michigan to farm again with his father and cousins. But with market changes affecting the farm in the late 90s, Dave accepted his current position on a part-time basis in 1998 and has never looked back. Since then, he's been deeply involved in the expansion of the council's activities. One example has been combining the annual conventions of the Michigan Vegetable Council and the Michigan State Horticultural Society.
It's really grown into a premier show. A lot of people have been involved in making that happen. Some of it was just good timing, bringing the shows together, and it's been very satisfying to all of us involved to see how the show has grown. We've affiliated shows with other groups the last few years, so it's really become a show that has a lot to offer. I think few of us envisioned how this show was going to take off when we first put it together.
Dave says one of the most enjoyable aspects of his job is associating with the good people who serve on the board of the Vegetable Council. Farmers who, though busy with their operations, understand they'll reap the benefits by taking the time to serve. One of those is John Swanson, president of Swanson Pickle Company in Ravenna.
Obviously, Dave's leadership role has been important to the Vegetable Council. He put us in a different plane. When I was first on the board, the Vegetable Council had been around forever, but many people didn't know it existed, didn't really understand its role. It didn't really have a defined role because it represented so many different vegetable crops. But Dave has got us a lot more concise on what we do. I feel he's become the face and the voice of the Vegetable Council.
Along with growers, those from industry-related organizations and on the university level recognize the dedication to their industry that's come from Dave Smith.
I've known Dave Smith for over 30 years, back when he was with Farm Credit, and after that as a farmer, and after that as a member of the Michigan Potato Commission, and also as an organizing member of Potato Growers of Michigan. So Dave Smith and I go back a long way. Dave has been so active with the Vegetable Council, and the council has got to be commended for awarding him this award. It's a wonderful thing to see, and Dave certainly deserves it. He is involved in so many different committees, so many different support groups that we're all a part of, that it's always good to come to a meeting and see Dave sitting at the table.
Michigan vegetable industry is so fortunate to have someone of Dave's caliber. Dave can go to Washington, D.C. and fight for funding for special projects like Phytophthora, downtown Lansing fighting for funding for MSU and MDA, at MSU fighting for positions that are key for the vegetable industry, and then also with his peers of other commodity folks or the farmers, and Dave just is so good, so effective with everyone he works with.
He's brought a dry sense of humor and a quiet leadership skill to the Michigan Vegetable Council. And while the previous directors were all very good, I think Dave has taken it all to a higher level. He can listen, and at the same time he can kind of give you some direction. He's a consensus builder, And as I said, that dry sense of humor of his just kind of keeps everybody grounded and focused. And I've really come to appreciate Dave's perspective and wisdom and knowledge of the entire industry.
Dave Smith embodies the partnership that the vegetable industry has had with Michigan State University. Dave Smith is our go-to person as we try to work together with the industry to solve their problems. In a very large proposal that we put forward this past spring, Dave helped garner letters not only from Michigan and its growers, but also from other states and their growers. In some cases, these states are actually our competitors in this proposal process. That just tells you how effective Dave is. He can see the large picture, but Dave is also a very detailed person. In fact, Dave can tell you how many peanuts are in the package of peanuts that you get on an airline. To the number, he can tell you that.
Married 42 years to his wife Sue, their first date was homecoming their senior year in high school. Dave is forever grateful for her support throughout his career. They have 3 children, and their favorite pastime these days are their 7 grandchildren.
So one of the things we enjoy now is getting together and spending time as Grandma and Grandpa. That's really the best thing about having children is when they give you grandchildren. And so we have fun with that, and when we've done our work, we give them back to the parents.
It started for Dave as a farmer and is carried over with his work with the Vegetable Council, that being his genuine concern for the interests and well-being of the growers in the industry. For his unyielding commitment, the Michigan Vegetable Council is pleased to present its 2010 Master Farmer Associate Award to its Executive Director, Dave Smith.